The desire to create is a basic human impulse. Whether you love art, music, poetry, or dance, this desire to create stays with us throughout our lifetime. More and more research has shown that being creative is good for our brains. Here in Central Florida, Liz Kitchens has made it her mission to encourage creativity and help women discover their own colorful spirits. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you so much, Serena. It's a pleasure to be here.
And when I first heard about you, I heard about be brave, lose the beige. Now tell me, what does that mean?
Well, it's a blog that I've written since 2009. I do workshops under that title as well, and my target audience are baby boomer women, who I call lady boomers.
Oh, okay.
And the focus of which is creativity and creative living.
Okay, well now, why did you choose lady boomers?
Well, I am one. And I'm actually working on a book called Be Brave, Lose the Beige, a coloring book for living outside the lines, because I think baby boomer women have lived a significant percentage of their lives within very prescribed lines. Mm-hmm. And as we face the prospect of transitioning into retirement or another phase of life, I hope that Be Brave, Lose the Beige can be a guide for starting to live outside some of those lines. And I talk a lot about exercising your creativity.
All right, now what do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's indisputable that we need to exercise our bodies and our minds. We belong to the Y, we walk, everybody knows it's important for our physical well-being. And our minds, we take classes, we read books, no dispute that we have to exercise our bodies and minds. But somehow, once we get past the age of 10, we stop exercising our creative muscles. Mm-hmm. And just like physical muscles that fail to be engaged, so too can our creative muscles atrophy. And so I talk a lot about that, trying to reignite those muscles, flex those creative muscles.
All right, but let's say I never did any art. I never did any music. I never did any dance. Can I get involved in this?
Well,
this age?
I love it. That's a great question. Jeffrey Kluger, who is a science writer for Time magazine, did a segment recently called Awesome Aging. And in that segment, he argued that studies have shown that creativity actually increases with age, not decreases, increases. Oh. Because our brain goes through these changes, and the very deterioration we dread actually enhances our creative impulses. The walls break down, and it's no longer just language on the left and art on the right. The two sides start talking to each other. And I find that so exciting. And so that's why people like Pablo Picasso or Frank Lloyd Wright or Grandma Moses did some of their best work in their 80s.
And so maybe by the time we are middle-aged and older, we don't have some of our responsibilities that we once had, and we are free to be
so
creative.
True. You know, parents with young children, you're focused on that, and you don't have the luxury, I think. And so I think you're right. Aside from the brain changes, you have the time availability.
Well, what are some of the ways that you are seeing women exercise their creativity? And just tell me as quickly as you can.
Certainly. You don't have to just pick up a paintbrush or play a guitar. I think creative living means driving to work a different route. Don't drive the same way to the grocery store every time. Gift giving can be creative. I have a friend who's instituted second Sunday suppers with her family as a Christmas present. And once a month on the second Sunday, she makes a big meal and anybody who can shows up. It can be putting colorful knobs on your cupboards, or gardening, or subscribing to a cooking magazine and trying new recipes.
And speaking of subscribing, I will want to subscribe to your website. And tell me about that.
My website can be found at www.bebravelosthebeige.com.
Thank you very much, Liz.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for inviting me to sit and talk with you.
Well, certainly, I definitely will be signing up for Be Brave, Lose the Beige newsletter, and I am looking forward to being more creative and maybe more colorful.